This is Jeffrey Crivero, and I'm conducting an oral history with Ieshia Walker. The interview is being conducted at the Hopper Academy in Sanford, Florida on Saturday, March 18th, 2023. Ms. Walker, thank you for speaking with us today. Would you please begin by stating your name for us and telling us a bit about where you're from and what life was like for you growing up?
Yes, sir. My name is Ieshia Walker, and I am actually a bi-coastal brat. I was actually born on the West Coast, but a lot of my family's from the East Coast. So I actually came and moved back to the roots, so to speak. My father brought us to the East Coast about maybe 98. And so I was growing up in Georgia for the most part. So kind of a southern peach for the most part, but I keep going south. Keep going further and further south.
What are some of your favorite things about your community?
I think the fact that when we say the culture of it is definitely a big thing to me, the things that we've built. I think a big thing about as far as sustaining the things that have been built. I'm very passionate about that, as well as just kind of knowing the identity of where we came from, some of the struggles that, have transpired, but then also to ease those struggles, kind of find solutions to things. But I think my community is resilient, it's beautiful, and I just love the things that make us all different, but some of the things that make us together.
You've been named as a community mother. What does that mean to you? And are there women that you've known in the past that you'd call a community mother?
Definitely yes to the second first. I wouldn't be who I am, or I probably wouldn't move how I was if it wasn't for the community mothers before me. I think a lot of things that happen is you get surrogate mothers sometimes, where you say if you get transplanted from your own localized home, you'll meet people who remind you of your grandmothers, your aunts, even your sisters, your siblings. And I think we have a way of looking out for each other. So I say that for me, when you say that mothering is knowing that even if someone doesn't have a family or a community, they see that. Like they have this natural thing where they kind of reach out to make sure that everybody's getting what they need, because everybody necessarily isn't getting everything the same. So to me, a community mother is definitely one where they're attentive enough to just keep eyes on what's missing or what problems may happen, and they have this way of just nurturing everybody.
Would you tell us a bit about your experience working at Seminole State College?
Yes, Seminole State was a great experience. It gave me a chance to kind of go from somewhere where the roots were from a 2-year college up into a 4-year. So just even the dynamics of demographics, and just looking at first generations in a more hyper kind of sensitive environment, it was great. It definitely showed me a continued need when you say far as being able to be present, for those types of generations and those connections. Seminole State also was great where it gave me a chance to be a Black faculty staff member, like leadership, and just being able to keep the community together so we can, solve problems, ask questions. It kind of gave everybody a safe place to be able to, build upon things. And so I do appreciate Seminole State for being able to see me as someone who can be a solution person, for the community.
Would you please describe for us the Bookertown Black History Month celebration and tell us how you became involved with that?
So that actually was a birthday present one year. One year my girlfriend took me out there for a birthday, and I was overwhelmed. Like I just loved all the activities that were going on, the vendors, and how you said that sense of community, that closeness. It was beautiful. So one of the women there, when you say community mother, her name was Miss Annette Campbell. And once I met her, that surrogacy, it just flew from there. So she actually called me and was like, you know what, I do a lot of things where I have a brand where fashion through education is fierce. It's called Shiny Guiding. And so I kind of like to educate the younger generation of past history, but in a way that they can recognize it. So in my mind, they may not listen to my textbook, but they might wear a t-shirt that recognizes someone who was of the ancestry. So that being said, she wanted me to come in and be her fashion coordinator this year, and she asked me to put on a fashion show that pretty much, sang our culture through and through. So we mixed in some African prints. I talked about how some of the prints that we wear, show things like how we want to get married, or maybe the certain vibrancy of our nature. And so I came in there, put a show on, for got models from the community. So being able to just, dress women up who may not, dress up on the norm. It was a great experience. Everybody came out to some music. So that Booker Town Black History Month is something special. It allows people to get together, show off their best selves, in every way that they can bring to the community.
Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you'd like to add or expand on? Do you have any final thoughts?
Anything I would probably expand on is I'm hoping the energy stays. I feel like there's a lot of energy right now to do good work, to the things that you guys do at Riches for archiving the work and just making sure that it's there, the information is there. I think the big thing for me is the identity. The more I know about where I come from, the more I know about the history of what's there, I can help restore on top of that, but I can help solve problems of things that had came before then. So I think it's more so just loving to keep learning, making sure the information stays out there, making sure the history, the stories are still told, and they don't stop.
Mrs. Walker, thank you so much for sharing your time and speaking with us today. This has been Jeffrey Crivera with Ieshia Walker on March 18th, 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you.